Share 9. The Family of AA. So speaking of rehab, I grew up in a kind of a loving household, even though there was a little bit of alcohol, and one way that alcohol was abused in my childhood was by my father while he watched the evening news. He would have a couple of scotches, but he would get boisterous enough to start talking back at the television newscaster reporting the NBC nightly news. So my brother and I would sit there drinking ginger ale, eating crackers and cheese, while my father was becoming emotionally unavailable, and wondering, why is he arguing with someone who is not even in the sitting room with us? And why, God, am I falling victim to his anger? Why am I a third party in all this? Anyway, at my first meeting in rehab, the speaker, there was a 20 or 30-minute speaker, and then I guess open discussion. The speaker, he was the splitting image of the newscaster John Chancellor from the NBC Evening News. This rehab was right outside of New York City, where the NBC studios are, and he could have been John Chancellor for all I knew. Anyway, this time the speaker was talking about his shenanigans or something, about how he stayed upstairs in his house alone in his bathrobe. I guess his family had left him. He hadn't shaved all day. He was hungover. He'd checked his clock and say, "Oh, it's 6 o'clock." And he'd shave and shower, and he would come downstairs and have a cocktail all by himself. Everybody was laughing about the unmanageability of his drinking, and I thought to myself, this was a big meeting. There was about 100 people. This is the kind of family I want to be a part of, you know, now that we are watching John Chancellor all over again. This is the kind of sitting room I want to be sitting in, and the kind of family I want to belong to. So that was a nice parallel between my childhood and my first meeting. That meeting was a divinely arranged introduction to the fellowship for me. This very skeptical individual